Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to check out this very beautiful Mercedes Benz AMG SL63 Roadster. It's finished off in Moonlight White Mango, and we'll go over the six-figure price tag once we go over all the specs and features and the 20 grand worth of options for this luxury style sports car. So let's start off with what powers this AMG. This has a beautifully handcrafted 4-liter bi-turbo V8. It's paired to the 9-speed automatic transmission, pumping out 577 horsepower, 590 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the 4MATIC all-wheel drive system, where this also has the all-wheel drive steering. It weighs in right around 4,200 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds with a top speed of 193 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 18.5 gallons. You'll expect to see around 14 miles per gallon in the city, 21 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 106.3 inches. Its overall length is 185.2. It has a width of 75.4 and a height of 53.3 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this SL63, let's start off with the massive Mercedes Benz logo in the grille. This is also the forward-facing sensor for the adaptive cruise. There's a camera just above that, and then a mini version of the Mercedes Benz badge is just above that grille. But this also has all the parking sensors within the front end too, and a lot of gloss black accents. It matches perfectly with this matte white. This even has a set of LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals with a really nice sleek housing to them, with all the bodywork surrounding them. Gives it a very nice look, and you can see more of the white for the inlets on both sides to give it more of that aggressive look, along with two lines coming down the hood, meeting that Mercedes-Benz badge very nicely. I'm not sure why Mercedes-Benz puts two logos on the front, but nonetheless, they are there. So for the side, this actually has the upgraded 21-inch wheels, finished off in matte black. This has 6-piston Brembos up front with single pistons in the rear, finished off in yellow, which is a nice combo. You can see more of the gloss black in the lower side skirt, which is actually in the lower section of the front bumper there. There's the V8 bi-turbo badge as well. Gloss black side mirrors with the integrated turn signal and a camera system. And then, as you can tell right now, being the Roadster, the top is down, giving it a very, very nice look. And what's awesome about this is you can actually put the top up and down using the key fob. Now, as you can tell, the Mercedes logo is lock, there's unlock, and then there's the trunk logo. So in order to activate that, I'll simply just push on the lock button twice. Actually, I can do it from here. So you don't have to be too close to the vehicle. Maybe I do because it stopped. But you do have to hold on the button in order for it to do it. Now, it will not roll up the windows, so it will just put up the top, but when you put it back down using the key fob, it will fold the windows down. So if I just push on the unlock button now and do that twice, just like I did, you will see it go back down. So of course, for the price of this, you would expect this car to do it, and it does it very, very quickly, which is really cool. And then again, with it up or down, I think it looks great either way. So as we work our way to the rear, you can see I have the active wing currently deployed. You can push on a button in order to do that. It will deploy at speed and then retract when you slow down. This also has a set of LED taillights, all the parking sensors, with the backup camera, which is just above the license plate. You can't see it right now because it is hidden when not in use. And then in the lower section, you can see more of the gloss black with the quad tip AMG dual exhaust there, which we will start up here in just a little bit. So let's work our way to the cargo space. Now, being the convertible top, which actually I did not hold that button long enough, so I need to do that again in order to finish this retraction there. So there we go. So with the top down, it actually does not hinder any of your trunk cargo space. And you can use the hidden button up underneath. This is all automatic, opening and closing, which is very nice. So as you can tell, I do have some items in the back right now, and you can hopefully see, you can actually go in just a little bit ways there. I have a lunchbox there along with my tripod and camera gear, so you can still fit in some items. And there's even some storage space up underneath. Not a whole lot, but being a Roadster, you still can bring some items with you, pack them in your trunk, and you are good for the day. Now up top, I can just push on that button. You can push the one on the right to close and lock it at the same time. And now as we work our way to the interior, let's lock this vehicle because this also has the flush mounted door handles. So with it locked, of course, or driving, they will be in. In order to get in, all I have to do is swipe my hand. You will see them pop out. If I push on that button, that is how you can lock it, of course, when you walk away. And then looking at this beautiful interior, this is called red pepper. It's a great contrast against the white. You can see the two-tone design with the black leather, red stitching. This has the Burmester audio sound system with all the brushed aluminum. It's even on the release handle, lock and unlock. There's all the seating adjustments, memory seating adjustments. These seats are heated, ventilated. They have heated headrest, and you can even adjust the front passenger seat by pushing on that icon. There's all the window controls. You can actually roll all of them up and down with the push of one button, side mirror adjustments, and then that release for the trunk and a little bit of storage space. So a lot going on, but it's very laid out very nicely. Now AMG is also down on the door sill, which is an illuminating badge. And then this SL63 is actually a 4-seater. You're not buying this to put people into the back. This is mainly for extra storage, but in order to gain access, you just pull that tab and then that seat will move forwards the rest of the way. Now you'll notice in the lower section, there is a storage net so you could place some documents or any items. And at 5'10" with the roof down, obviously it's easy to enter and exit. Now these seats actually fold forward, so instead of being upright, I'm actually leaning closer towards my knees. So you really don't want to be in the back seats of this car. If you have the top down, of course it'll be a little bit easier, but legroom is going to be very, very crammed even for your front seat passengers. So this is mainly for extra storage space if you need it, but it has the same attention to detail even with some speakers in the back. You could probably fit some smaller children in the back if you really needed to, but those are the back seats for this Roadster. And as you can tell with the front seats, we have AMG just underneath the headrest. Very, very nice design. This is also a low car, so it's very easy to get in and out. The door opens up very wide as well. And then for the AMG steering wheel, it has solid and perforated leather. Very good design to it. This has the paddle shifters on both sides and a lot more controls to go through. So we have to fire this up in order to do that. With my foot on the brake, that engine button is just in between the nav and the steering wheel. We can bring this to life. And you'll see for this gauge cluster, for the current setup, on the left side is the G-force meter, on the right side is some other vitals as far as how you're driving this vehicle goes. In the lower section, you'll see some more fixed information like your fuel range, along with the engine temperature, along with what gear you're in too. And then right in the middle, you have a lot more info that you can go through using these icons over on the left side of the steering wheel. So I'm going to start by pushing on the home icon, where you'll see a lot of different icons to choose from. So I was currently in track pace. If I go to super sport, you will see that gauge cluster change. There's also sport mode, where it will change yet again and show you all of the different driving modes that the vehicle is currently in. On the left side, there are some more vitals that you can look at. There's also a classic mode, so more of a traditional style with your gauge cluster or with your miles per hour and your tach just like that. And you can even go through some more information within the middle. So we're going to look at that now. You can see setup. There's also engine data. You can look at the miles that you've gone along with your MPG. You can reset all that information, look at your eco display. There's even your fuel consumption, your attention assist, so for the adaptive cruise. You can look at your music as well, and then even pull up the navigation. Now you can also do that in a few other settings here by pulling up the nav in full screen, so you can see that in the entire 12-inch gauge cluster. You can go into your driver assistance, even your servicing too, so you can monitor that as needed. Very nice to have all this front and center. And you can even swipe up, turn on the heads-up display, and now you have some different icons to determine what you would like to see for the heads-up display. So all of these are basically what you are going to view for the heads-up display. It might be a little bit hard to see since it is right in front of us there, but I will scroll through it. I think the camera can pick that up. We have minimal, there's also standard, race mode here, so you have the full tach. You also have super sport, and then the track pace there, where it just shows you your miles per hour as well. So very configurable, but it's easy to go through all of it at the same time. Now also over on this left side is all the cruise and adaptive cruise control settings. And then just underneath that, you will see this toggle where you can go through a lot of information. So this even has the front axle lift, so you can push on this button and raise and lower that. You can go to traction control and then use this icon to turn that on and off as well. There's the suspension, the exhaust note, even normal drive or being able to use the paddles. This has the engine start stop feature, and then you can do the same thing with the upper one here, just depending on the shortcuts that you would like to have for the day. Now on this right side, we have the same icons for home and these arrows. That is for the infotainment system, which I will come back to. This even has volume, Bluetooth, and voice commands, as well as a favorites button too. And then underneath that, these are the different driving modes for the SL63. So if I go all the way over to the left, this is slippery, so you can see everything adjust. I can go into individual. I'm not sure if the camera can pick up the audio changes for the exhaust note or not, but there's comfort, sport mode. You will see a Sport Plus where the exhaust note did change, and then there's even a race setting. You can also push on this to go between manual and automatic, and then you can also configure all of these and have them set up differently just depending on what you'd like to have. So probably go into individual for that, but it's very easy to go through all of those settings as well. Now over on the left side of the steering wheel, you will see the electronic parking brake along with all the headlight controls. There's more leather as well as one speaker that covers the entire dash, of course. Very beautiful to see. Now right in the middle, this is just under 12 inches for this infotainment system, where you have a good bit to go through. So currently you can see the navigation. I'm going to start by pushing on the home icon right in the middle. So you can go into your settings, you can go through all this information from your lighting systems, you have vehicle information, pretty much the general information that you would want. You can even have the front axle lift with the GPS coordinates. So every time you get to that, it will automatically raise or lower, which is pretty cool to see. But if we go back into this, you have comfort for all the climate adjustments. You have your phone, radio, media. We can go to the track pace. So if I push on this here, we do not have any tracks located near us right now, so we will not be able to view that. Let's go into AMG, which should be more track focused or street focused, where you can see a lot of this information. We can go into the engine there, pull up horsepower and torque, even go into consumption, which if you're driving this spiritedly, consumption is not important for you. And if I go back into home, we can scroll over and you have your smartphone, so how you can pair your phone to this system. And that's pretty much it for the home screen. Now you'll also notice too in the lower section, we have fan speed for driver and passenger, along with the temperature that you can quickly adjust. There's a climate menu that you can also get into, so you can go through where you'd like the air to go. You have some other buttons to control all of that system. And then underneath it, you will notice that this is an entire row of buttons all on the same push button, which is pretty cool. So starting on the left side, if we go into AMG, this is what I just showed with that shortcut on the steering wheel, so you can quickly go through all that information. You can even pull up the 360 camera system, and if you swipe your finger on this, you can actually go around the entire car. Now it's interesting to see the top up with the top currently down, but nonetheless, you have a ton of visibility with that system. We can get to the shortcuts for the forward-facing camera, there's the rear-facing camera, and then a few different shortcuts on both sides. You can even GPS the camera system too, so it will pop up when you get into situations like your driveway or work, wherever it may be. And then to put this into reverse, this does have the column-mounted shifter, so just by lifting that up, you will see the backup camera appear. Drive, of course, is going to be all the way down, and then park is located just on the outside of that. Nothing new from Mercedes. They do that in a lot of their models. And a shortcut to the engine start stop is just underneath the actual button there. And then by pushing the button on the right side of that, this is how you can control the soft tops. So you can see in this clip right now, if I slide this all the way over to the right, you will see the top slowly go up. It really doesn't take all that much time, and I've been able to operate the top up to about 40 miles an hour. Pretty impressive to see that for the speed. Pushing on the Mercedes logo just next to that, or the icon of the Mercedes, you will see we have a few other icons like the heads-up display. This is how you can raise the front end. We have the active steering assist, and then a few others that you can go into and monitor. The hazards are right in the middle. This also has the fingerprint scanner, which of course I am not doing. I don't own this, so I don't need to go into that, but it's pretty interesting to see that. You can also turn this entire screen off. Volume is on the far right side, and what I love about this screen, if I push on this button, you will see the entire screen push forwards there slightly. Now I thought this was just a gimmick until I drove around with the top down and the sun glare was not all that good for this screen. So by just adjusting it that small there was no more glare. So it is very cool that Mercedes-Benz has thought about that with the convertible top, and I like the position of it. It's like you're on a giant iPad being able to go through all this even with one hand. very, very easy to go through. Now underneath that, you will see some gloss black where I can open this up. This has a wireless charging pad, some auxiliaries, and 2 cup holders, which is of course nice to have. There's a small pad where you could rest your hand if you'd like to. And then right in the middle, if I open this up, you'll see there's a good amount of storage space for this center armrest, so you can place in some items as needed. And then all the way over on the passenger side, we have the glove box where you have a bit more storage. So there's an ample amount of storage space for this interior, if you include the back seats as extra storage as well. And then up top, there's a few call buttons. This even has the touch sensitive dome lights. As we set off now behind the wheel for this AMG SL63 Roadster, the sticker on this is $203,000. That's with about 20 or so grand worth of options that I've gone over. Wheels, Burmester audio sound system, even the exterior paint is a few $1,000s. So this one is pretty well equipped, and I have it for about 7 days. I've been driving it for a few days, and honestly, I'm pretty blown away with this style of vehicle. If you're looking for basically ultra luxurious style sports car that's also a convertible, this is a great option. Now for roughly, let's say about 150, 160, where they start, 170-ish, you can also get a Porsche 911 Carrera. You can get the GTS Cabriolet, which is their version of a convertible, of course, Roadster for the Mercedes Benz here. You can even get the Lexus LC500 convertible too. So you have some cars in that higher price range. They might differ depending on options, of course, and what you go with. A few of those are also 4-seaters technically. The Porsche, the LC500, I believe the convertible does not have back seats. The coupe might. But for that price range, I think this is a really good option. I've been thoroughly impressed every time I find something unique about this car. The 4-wheel steering, which makes this so much more maneuverable. Even though it's not a big vehicle, it's something that of course helps in being a Mercedes Benz, being more a luxury style focused, and just having small attention to details like that. We have massaging seats too. You have pretty much everything that you need if you want a vehicle like this. Now, one thing that I will say is a downfall in my opinion, so personal opinion, is that I wish the exhaust was louder, but it's a Mercedes Benz. This is something that's supposed to be luxurious and nice and comfortable to drive while you're cruising down the road. So it doesn't need to be loud or obnoxious like that. But with that being said, we are going to pop it into the race setting, so we can also get to that by pushing on AMG. So right in the middle, we have that. We have the paddles. Let's give it some gas. I think for how fast it is, that makes up for the exhaust note, which it still has a good, healthy V8 engine to it. So if you are someone who loves a V8, it sounds good. We'll go down to third here. So we're actually taking this car on a mountain trip, so stay tuned for ripping on this more and really seeing the full potential for how this handles on twisty roads. Being a convertible, it's about 4,200 pounds, which honestly doesn't sound that heavy for this style of vehicle. It's been stretched a little bit for the back seats there, and of course with the convertible top needs to be designed a little bit better, of course, to still be structural and have the top go down. So I can't wait. Check out that video to see how well this does, really ripping on it and seeing its full potential. Today, I'm just cruising just to experience it and share this with all of you. So check out that video. And what I love about this soft top is you can actually put the top down while moving. I have found that you can do this right around 37, 40 miles an hour. It'll still go down. You do actually have to hold on this icon in the center screen, which is weird. You can't just push it, but a lot of vehicles do have that. And 15 seconds, somewhere around there, you are good to go. You will hear it beep. It'll show you that the soft top operation has been completed. And then from here, we can really open up this exhaust just a little bit more. Here we go. Woo! This is so quick. I cannot wait to take this to the mountains. What I also love is with one control here, I can put all 4 windows up and down with the push of that one control. So for audio purposes, I will keep them up. With the windows down, obviously you're getting that crosswind that you would want in a Roadster like this. But I've been so impressed with how this drives with the top up or down. It's such a quiet vehicle. Here we go. Even with the top down though, it's so composed feeling within the cabin here. So I think Mercedes Benz did a great job for the money you're spending on this car. 200 G's, you better have a car that is driving incredibly well. And with another acceleration, woo, we got a pop. We got a pop. Oh, it's such a quick car. Again, $200,000 for this SL63 Roadster. I can't pick anything apart. It is such a beautiful, luxury-focused sports car, even with the option of putting the top down. It's so cool. Now you can only get, if you want the convertible, you have to go with the SL63. If you want to go with the AMG GT, that is no longer available in a Roadster. So they've specifically designed that for the coupe. If you want the Roadster, you go with the SL63. Both are going to be phenomenal options. And the shifts, the shifts in this exhaust, or the shifts in this car are very, very quick. I am thoroughly impressed with this, as well as its turning radius with the 4-wheel steering. So just like that, we were able to turn around and get going again. I want to talk about earlier what I said. The sun has gone away, unfortunately, but with this screen here, honestly, I love it in this upright position. It helps with the glare, and it makes it so much easier to use, like it's a giant cell phone to go through all of that information. So that is pretty cool. And before we end today's video, we're going 35 miles an hour. Let's put the top back up. I haven't found the limit. I don't want to try to go any faster. I would say probably 40 miles an hour you can do this top, which makes it very, very easy to do. Just like that. And I wish that it put the windows up. I think that is my only gripe. I believe that all 4 windows should go up just like they go down when you do the soft top. So minor, insignificant gripe. For 200 G's, you should push 1 button rather than 2. But it's nice that you can do all of them at the same time. So what do you guys think? Mercedes Benz SL63 Roadster, a $200,000 ultra luxurious sports car that also has the performance with that all-wheel drive system. Oh my goodness. Such a beast of a car. Well, stay tuned for the mountain trip. That will be coming very, very shortly, so we can really experience what the AMG performance is designed for in this SL63. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this walk-around review and test drive behind the wheel of the AMG SL63 Roadster. Give the video a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.